Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about Knitting Magazine issue 253 and my design in that issue. If you watched last week's podcast you will have seen it already. I'm going to talk about the design in that issue and also a bit more about what's in this issue of the magazine, and I'm also going to share some tutorials with you, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So issue 253 of Knitting Magazine is in the shops now. It was out last Thursday in the UK. I don't know where you can get it from if you're not in the UK, but check out their website. I'm sure there are some details on there. And I had a quick look through this at lunchtime because it came a couple of days ago, and I'm just going to highlight some of the things there in a minute, but first let me share my design in this issue. So I'm just going to put something inside here to make it a bit easier to show you. So this is a clutch bag. I have designed other clutch bags which are available from my pattern shop. So I've got a Fair Isle clutch called the Color Clutch and a beaded clutch called the Glamour Clutch, and these are basically made in the same way, but this is a brioche pattern. This one is slightly smaller than the other two. It's knitted in Rowan Alpaca Soft DK. I don't know if I've used Rowan Alpaca Soft DK before, but it is gorgeous to knit with. It's so lovely to knit with. So if you have done brioche before, you'll find this really easy. If you're new to brioche, this is a good project to start with. You start down here and you knit this way till you get to here, and then you leave these stitches on hold, pick up stitches all the way around, and then you knit blue on this side, and then around the side here the color flicks and flicks back to blue, and then I flip the color halfway up, and then at the top the color is flipped. No, it's not. No, it's not. I thought it was flipped here as well. I've just done a few rows in rib on the inside. I thought I flipped the colour there as well, but that's not the case. When you finish the bag, you attach the clutch frame. I'm not going to take it out of the packaging because this is from a kit that's available on my website. So on my website, I sell some kits for the Color Clutch and the Glamour Clutch. I also have some kits which have the lining, the felt lining, and the clutch frame in them. I don't know if I've got a lot of these because I don't know if I got a lot of the lining at the moment, but I will have some of the clutch frames because I have had a new order recently and I have a big pack of them sitting on my desk. So I'm going to list some more of these clutch frames, and then I'm going to order some more of the lining so I can do some more. But there are some sets that have the lining and the clutch frame, but if you're struggling to know where to get a clutch frame from, I will have them on my website. And when you open it, it'll stand up on its own. I quite often use them for my knitting project. They're perfect for a small project like a shawl, a small shawl, socks. I've used them for pieces, for garments and things like that, accessories and stuff. Or you can also use them as a handbag. So just grab it, tuck it under your arm, grab it. You can use it to hold all your essentials and throw it into a bigger tote bag, for example. I like the fact that it'll stay open when you put it down. I think that's very useful. If you're good at sewing, you can even put like a pocket or something into the lining. The reason I chose the lining with felt is because it's much easier to sew with. So I'm not a brilliant sewist. I can use the sewing machine, but I'm not very good. So I sometimes find cotton a bit slippery, and also with cotton, I always feel like for bags to give them a bit of body, you need to use interfacing and stuff, and I just find that a lot of hassle. So I decided to use felt. The first clutch bag I made last year, I actually hand sewed the lining because I was too lazy to get my sewing machine out. Because I hadn't used my sewing machine for a few years, I was also worried about whether it was actually working. And then it took me so long to hand sew it, because I'm not very good at hand sewing, that next time I got my sewing machine out. So if you have a sewing machine and you know how to do a straight seam, you can machine sew it really, really quickly. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can hand sew it. Pattern includes a cutting diagram, and you just, with felt, you don't have to like fold the edges over twice and all that kind of stuff. You just hold the pieces together, sew around it, and then you just stitch it into the lining. I haven't done a very good job of that, but it does the job. And if it's a bit creaky like this one, you just need to add a bit of oil to the hinges, which I probably need to do with this one. So that is the clutch bag. Let me show you what else is in this issue of the magazine. So the cover is a beautiful blue shawl modelled over one of the tops that's in the magazine. And the editor, Christine, starts her column at the front by saying, "I got the sea breeze in my heart and salt water on my mind as I dive into summer knitting season proper." Well, we're not really having very good summer weather here in the UK at the moment, but it's a very blue theme. And most of these patterns you can use even if it's not very summery, like the shawls and things. Then it's got some news pages. They're doing a special collaboration with Hyde and Hammer, who do really beautiful project bags. And on page 7, there is a special offer from Hyde and Hammer. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, but it'll go on sale on August 22nd. So if you are interested in Hyde and Hammer, look at that. I would love a Hyde and Hammer bag, but I haven't managed to get my hands on one yet. Then there's an article about the Craft Industry Alliance, which was started by Abby Glassenberg. It started years ago, and I was actually a member for when it started and for a few years. It's a trade association representing the craft industry worldwide. I was a member when it, as I said, when it started, and I was a member for a number of years. To start with, I found it quite useful, and then I kind of didn't really. They had like a message board and like an online group at the time. I didn't find I got that much out of it, so I cancelled my membership. I might look it up again now because it might be interesting. Then they have these pages where they kind of share a lot of must-haves. Some of them knitting related, but not all of them. Different accessories, pretty things, some yarn related things, some other pretty stuff. Oh, there was one thing here which I really fancy. These are called mini yarn minders from Lemonwood Love. These things, I think it'd be a ball of yarn on there, and then it has a wrist strap, and you can just dangle from your wrist while you knit, and I quite fancy that. I did look at them on Instagram and their website a little while ago. I think they're American. I would prefer to find a stockist in this country, so if you know someone who stocks it, let me know. Then there's an interview with Carrie Moyle of Ginger Pink Yarns. They're based in Somerset. Don't think I've heard about them before. And then there's a big 6-page spread, an interview with Julia Weisenberger, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who is the founder of Coconuts. So Coconuts is an accessory brand. I have several of their products. I have this little craft caddy, I think it's called, from Coconuts, which basically you bought the bag and the handles separately, and then you sew the handles on. I must admit I haven't used it a lot. I got it reduced somewhere, can't remember where, 2 years ago. I haven't used it a lot. I mainly tend to use it to put yarn in to take downstairs with me when I'm swatching for new designs for magazine submissions and stuff like that. But it's a really long interview. I started reading it, got loads of pictures. I like some of the Coconuts notions. They do, my first set of blocking mats were from Coconuts, and I still have the bags for it, but I don't have the actual blocking squares anymore because they just got worn out because I used them too much. And then they also do some really nice stitch markers, which I really like. They're my favorite stitch markers, but they do lots of really pretty useful notions. This is one of the bags from Hyde and Hammer, which I would love to get my hands on. They are just gorgeous. Then there are some yarn reviews, and then we start on the pattern. So this pattern is Stormy Seas by Christine Boggis. That's gorgeous. I like that. And then there's a couple of shawls. Really pretty shawls. by Emma Vining and Brian Smith. And then another really pretty top by Joe Allport, and a couple of pairs of socks. It's all kind of blue themed. Another shawl, a hat, cardigan by different people. Some more summer tops. And then I like this feature that they have where they take 3 of their designs, show them in different colors, and then show different accessories you can pair with them, which I really like. And then there's some accessories, pouch, cushion, little tablecloth, and then it is my design and Christine's earrings next to them. It's a really fun sweater by Pat Strong. That's quite good fun, isn't it? And some kids stuff, Sarah Hazel's column, and then there's a tutorial on choosing colours for stranded colour work, which is really good. I had a quick read through that earlier, and there's some really good advice. And then you got all the patterns at the back here, and then it ends with Erica Knight and Arabella Harris. I assume they got a regular column in the back of Knitting Magazine, because I think they did one last month, if I remember correctly. And a look at the next issue. I don't actually have a pattern in the next issue of Knitting Magazine, but I think I have one in the one after that. So that is what is in this issue. Now, I said I would share some tutorials, so I have some tutorials on brioche knitting. I also have an online course on brioche knitting. So I have my Successful Brioche Knitting online course. I will link that below this video. It will take you right through from brioche beginners, how to do basic 2-color brioche, single color brioche, and how to use increases and decreases to make fancy swirling brioche patterns like this, and how to fix mistakes, loads of different things. So I will link that below, but I also have some tutorials, some free tutorials on brioche knitting. So I will link some of those below as well, and at the end of this video. But if you really want to learn brioche, do check out my Successful Online Brioche Knitting. And I also have a tutorial for how I put in this lining, how I made the lining and put it in. So I will link that below this video and at the end as well. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Issue 253 of Knitting Magazine is in the shops in the UK now, and this is my contribution to this issue. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and leave me a comment and let me know if you fancy knitting this. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.